Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, Hashem, YAHAWASHI, double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone, shalom to mighty Aki and Wathim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from his final captivity, as well as the speckled bird that may look like the other nations, but are actually Yasharallah. This is Brother Kawa Cup coming at you with no lesson. And today's lesson is going to be entitled Master Yourself, because I remember this one quote from this one character that was playing in a game that I was playing. It was God of War, and what's his name, Kratos. He was talking to this one panic ass dude or whatever that wasn't really panicking, but you get the point. Basically what he said master yourself and stuff like that, right? Basically meaning control yourself, which I thought was a pretty cool ass, hard ass saying. So I'm gonna take that and put that as the title here. And basically how that ties into this is because a lot of the things that goes into just living as people in general, in not just in this society, but as a whole, in captivity and even out of captivity, which is how we should be living outside of anything, which is why we face so much stuff that we're going. I have a precept that goes with that, and Yahawadah, I'll get it right after this. James chapter 1 verse 26. If any man among you seem to be religious and bridleth not his tongue, but deceive his own heart, this man's religion is vain. Let me also get this. What was it? I just had it and I lost it. Oh yeah, okay. Well, it was is Proverbs. Yes, this is it. So first things first, let's get this. No, let's get this. Proverbs 26 verse 13. The slothful man saith, there is a lion in the way, a lion is in the streets. And let's continue on. Okay, let's start over. Proverbs 26 verse 12. Seest thou a man wise in his own conceit? There is more hope of a fool than of him. The slothful man saith, there is a lion in the way, a lion is in the streets. As the door turneth upon his hinges, so doeth the slothful upon his bed. So basically the thing here is that the slothful man, or a lazy sloth, being lazy, or sloth is an animal, but sloth is lazy in this context, where a slothful man, it will want to find any excuse, like say, oh man, I couldn't go wash my dishes or wherever because there is a lion, or there's a TV show on right now, or my hand hurts or something like that, or they will find an excuse. They will say, okay, I will rationalize why I cannot do something, and as a result of that, I'm not going to do this simply because there is something that's in the way that's preventing me from doing the thing that I need to do. All right, so that's one thing that we need to. That's one thing that I see, and it's something that we need to be able to fight against. That lack of self-control to say, okay, I know I have to do this, but clearly something is stopping me from being able to do it. So as a result of that, I'm not going to do it. All right, and as a result of that, it impedes your progress on doing the right thing or being proper men, women, or whatever of the Lord, that you're going to say, okay, well, something is happening or something is in the way, so I'm not going to do it because this is stopping me and whatnot. All right, so as a result of that, this is why I'm doing this lesson in general. This is another part of why I want to do this lesson, because this is a very good, nice thing to talk about, because I actually generally like that aspect of it, where the thing here is that for us followers, the hopeful elect, I was about to say the elect, but more so as the hopeful elect, we have to be able to say, okay, you know what, doesn't matter how lazy or whatever is in the way, you normally, obviously, if there's something that's actually like preventing you in the way, then you don't have to do it, of course. Like, if you're actually like in genuine danger, then you don't have to do it. But like even when it comes to, I think the best thing to say is a lion. Like, let's say if there's a lion that was preventing you from doing something, I don't even think that a lion is a proper excuse. I think faith in Yahawadah would to help you get through certain things. That's where, like, okay, you should still be doing stuff through faith that the Lord's going to help you go through it. But at the same time, you have to have the spiritual discernment to know, okay, when is Yahawadah actually stopping you, or when Yahawadah is putting this test for you to be able to say, I know I have to do this, so I'm going to do it anyway, or whatever, and stuff like that. All right. Or when the Lord just tells you, sometimes you shouldn't actually do it. But it's you just need the spiritual discernment to be able to tell, let me not do this, or let me do this, let me do that, or let me do this, or whatever, and stuff like that, and so on and so forth. All right. So as a result of that, if you are quote unquote religious, which basically religion, I don't even know the actual definition of religion. So let me get that. Religion is a structural system of beliefs, practices, and worldviews typically relating humanity to the sacred, divine, or supernatural, and often providing a moral code and framework for understanding existence. Basically, if you believe in a certain thing, like if you believe in Yahawadah, for example, you should be able to say in your heart of hearts, in your mind, that, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm not going to do this, or the Lord, He does not want me to eat pork, so I'm not going to say, oh man, I'm so hungry, I haven't eaten in a day or something like that, or whatever, so I have to eat this pork and stuff like that. No, that's one of the examples where you know and you say that, no, I'm not going to do it. Now, that's another thing, by the way, because I want to bring this up, that sets us apart from Muslims, because the Muslims, they say if you are stranded on an island, for example, in an extreme example, they say if you are stranded on the island and you only have pork, you are allowed to eat that pork. But for us Israelites, okay, I'll say Israelites, not no Christians, okay, it's a separate thing altogether. If you are an Israelite and you are stranded on an island and you only have pork to eat, you are not supposed to eat. You are never allowed to eat that pork. There is never a justification for you to eat that pork, because you should have faith. You should have enough faith that Yahawadah is going to deliver you or send you food or do something to help you in that situation, so that you do not have to eat the pork. All right, and even then, you don't have to eat the pork. So basically, like, it's just a matter of, okay, well, the fact that you stuck out for a day or two, whatever, of not eating the pork, even though it was right there available for you, you demonstrated, okay, well, this is my love towards Yahawadah and my obedience, that I don't care if I was about to die of starvation, I still am keeping the laws, statute, commandments of Yahawadah and being obedient to Yahawadah by not doing that. Okay, I'm not making an excuse or being slothful, and even then, you could say that it's not really being slothful because your life is in danger. But even then, it is being slothful because you're actively choosing that. Okay, I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to be obedient to Yahawadah, so I'm just gonna go against him because I want to preserve my life. Okay, well, let's actually get that to see what the Lord says. All right, Mark chapter 8 verse 35, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it. All right, so over here the Lord is saying that Yahawadah is saying that if you're trying to save your life, you're going to lose it. You're going to end up losing your life trying to save it, instead of preserving your life by staying faithful to Yahawadah and then saving and then preserving it. Okay, the irony of the statement I said, it's if you are actively trying to preserve your life, you're going to lose it. But if you actually try to lose your life for Yahweh, for Yahawah, Yahawashi specifically, then you are going to preserve your life. You're going to save it. All right. It's that's basically what the concept is. All right. Now, with that being said, continuing on, let's get. I read this. Didn't I reread this? Yes, I did reread it. Slakia. So next, Joshua chapter 24, verse 31, and Israel served the Lord all the days of Joshua and all the days of the elders that overlived Joshua, and which had known all the works of the Lord that he had done for Israel. And the thing here is that for YAHAWASHI, we are doing we're trying to, we need a proper leader telling us or guiding us and showing us the proper example of, okay, this is what we have to do. These are the right things to do. Whereas, if we are seeing that, okay, not eating pork is not okay, or we are forbidden from eating pork, like the law put in place, like say for example, if there was a law, like just say for example in America, they said you're not allowed to eat pork and stuff like that, then all the people would not be eating pork, and all people would know, okay, you are not going to do something bad and stuff like that. So you would only have the evil, the wicked people that are doing the stuff that's bad, and then they get punished for it, and then people in general are influenced the right way to know, okay, I'm going to do the right thing, or I want to do the right thing. So this helps with my self-control overall, because the people are constantly being groomed into doing the right thing or being righteous men and women of the Lord Yahawadah, rather than Esau pushing people to being contrary to that, which is wickedness. All right, so this is something that's very important that we need to remember, and it goes to show that again, self-control is such a big thing for us. But so many people, because this society does not care about self-control, it says, oh, you can do whatever you want as long as you don't hurt anyone, which even then so many people still do end up hurting so many people as a result of it. Even parenting is one of the biggest things where bad parenting obviously leads to zero accountability when it comes to kids, where the kids, they don't grow up learning anything. They think that they can do whatever they want, and people are destroyed and harmed as a result of it. Okay, but of course, again, no self-control. Next, Proverbs 16 verse, and that's a whole other thing, Slocky, about that. I don't want to go into that too much, but Proverbs, and I've done videos on that. Proverbs 16 verse 32: he that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh the city. And this is another one where if you're able to control yourself, namely your anger, that's something that is exalted in the eyes of Yahawadah, where you're not just saying, okay, well, someone made me mad, I'm gonna go and kill them, or I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna attack them, or whatever and stuff like that. You're able to stop yourself and say, okay, this person wronged me, I'm gonna take a step back, calm down, and let me do the right thing, or let me let Yahawadah judge them, instead of me thinking that, okay, I'm gonna go and do something evil, or I'm gonna go take matters in my own hands and stuff like that. When even then when it comes to stuff like that, it's better for Yahawadah to handle certain stuff. All right, continuing on, 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 12: all things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. And this is a major thing where I'd done a lesson on this not too long, I think yesterday, where basically I had spoken about, let's take video games, for example. You're allowed to play video games. Video games are not breaking the law of Yahawadah, but video games are something that could potentially, get in the way of, serving Yahawadah, where you are allowed to do whatever you want. You're allowed to play video games and stuff like that. But are the video games getting in the way of you serving Yahawadah? Are you saying, okay, well, you're spending all your free time on video games rather than Yahawadah, where you've lost time with YAHAWASHI in order to play video games and stuff like that. That's a thing to take note of and to think about, and to remember that, okay, well, I don't want this to impede my progress with YAHAWASHI. So as a result of that, let me focus only on YAHAWASHI, or let me prioritize YAHAWASHI over my video games or whatever other hobbies that people may prefer. All right. Next, 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 15. But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matters. Yet if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify Yahweh on this behalf. For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh, and if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh? And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinners appear? Wherefore, let them that suffer according to the will of Yahweh commit the keeping of their souls to him in well-doing, as unto the faithful Creator. So basically over here is that you don't want to be suffering as someone that's wicked, okay? Because of suffering for the right reasons, suffering for the right reasons is good for a time, because the Lord, helps you grow. That's number one. And then, but if you're suffering because you're being wicked, you're attacking people, you're hurting people, you're doing things that are against YAHAWASHI, and people hate you for that, then the Lord's not going to take pity on you, because you actively decided and chose to be someone or something that was evil. So as a result of that, if you're suffering as a follower of YAHAWASHI, you don't have to be ashamed, because you just have to be patient that, okay, YAHAWASHI is going to take care of us. He's going to take care of you and more, and he's going to reward you for it, okay? So even there, we also know that judgment, all right, is beginning with us, all right? So then later on, the people, the wicked, they're not going to... For then later on, the wicked are going to have to suffer even double, all right, double as a result of that, because they chose to have pleasure now, temporary pleasure now, rather than eternal pleasure later. Okay, and then the next thing is that it's going to be very common that people choose pleasure now rather than choosing salvation later. Okay, which we need to be able to accept and choose and wait for salvation later rather than now. Okay, so as a result of that, let's continue on. Sirach chapter 10, verse 1. A wise king will instruct his people, and the government of the prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. So over here, this is another example of when you have a proper leader telling you what to do, then they're going to help you, be proper followers and have some self-control and all the righteousness. Whereas if you don't have a proper leader that has proper self-control, then that's what's going to lead to your destruction, because you don't have anyone helping you or guiding you into being proper followers of YAHAWASHI. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawadah, Yahawashi, Yahawadah, double honor to the elders and apostles, great millstone, Ball, and Shalom.